Hello and welcome to Made in the Midlands TV. My name is Jason Pitt. Today we welcome James Stansfield, Managing Director of Filtermist, Gold member of Made in the Midlands. I think you recently did a breakfast morning with us, didn't you?
That's right, yes.
At your fantastic new £3 million facilities. How did that go?
Yeah, it went really well. It was great to see all the other manufacturing companies from the region networking. We obviously hope to sell some equipment to them, and we've actually done some business with some of those guys there buying from them.
I guess being in the air quality industry, I guess your facility is pretty much immaculate.
We certainly like to practice what we preach, and we like to make sure that the atmosphere that people are working in there is second to none. We've put in our own welding fume extraction system. We have all the right testing and LEV testing and so on going on in the business. So yeah, all of our guys are working in a great atmosphere, and I think that it does show. It's a very nice, clean facility. Obviously, we've moved there recently, so we want to make sure it stays clean. So
tell me a little bit about what your customer looks like and what sort of things that you provide those companies.
Well, Filtermist has been around since 1969. We started out manufacturing and marketing a centrifugal oil mist collection unit, basically collecting oil mist from machine tools. And our customer base is very widespread. In fact, 92% of what we manufacture at our base in Telford is exported globally. Wow. So we export to over 60 countries worldwide. It's anybody cutting metal. So there's obviously automotive, aerospace, subcontract machining are our key customer bases.
That's really interesting. I've done some research before we did this video. Admittedly, it's on air quality rather than the oil mist, because I think that's the research is still developing in that area, isn't it? But according to Bupa, just in the UK, and I know you operate worldwide, 1.2 million people in this country suffer from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And there's also a new trend, there's a new department in some law firms called air quality lawyers. Have you heard of those?
We have heard of air quality lawyers. We don't come across them so much in the UK, but I mean, this is something that obviously we think is important. I mean, okay, the lawyer aspect, it sounds very American, I guess, I don't know, but it's important. It's people's health that we're looking at. I mean, we're very much a health and safety product, and our company ethos, our catchphrase is protecting people, cleaner, safer, more productive workshops. And it's really important that people are going into work and breathing clean air. There's a lot of machinery involved. There's a lot of airborne contaminant in the atmosphere, and our job is to take that out of the atmosphere and make sure that all of these guys are working in clean atmospheres. So
if I'm running, I don't know, press work company or one of the fellow Made in the Midlands members, how do I know if my air quality is good enough?
Well, the simplest thing is to actually have an air monitoring service. In fact, part of the COSH regulations are that you should have monitored your air on a regular basis, and that's something that Filtermist can actually do. So step one is go and see what the air quality is, and we have engineers who can go around with special testing equipment just checking out what airborne contaminant is in, whether it's oil mist, dust, fume, all those sort of things.
Fantastic. So you do the free on-site visit, don't you?
Yeah, we can do a free site visit to look at oil mist. If you want to, that takes a snapshot in time just to see if you've got an issue. If you want sort of a proper a legal document, we've got proper testing services that we can provide where it's looked at in a lab afterwards. So that's the one thing that we can do there. And once we've identified a requirement, then we've got the equipment now, especially around the UK, to then specify the right type of extraction unit for the right type of contaminant that you've got, whether it is oil, mist, dust or fume or smoke.
Fantastic. And just touching on something that I picked up recently on the Made in the Midlands portal, actually you put a news article on, that you'd acquired a company called Multifan Systems. So when was that? When did you complete that deal?
Well, we completed that deal at the end of October, and that was actually very much to push us in a new direction as such. We are market leaders in oil mist extraction, but there is a lot of, as I said before, a lot of different types of contaminants in the air, and what Multifan help us to do now is to design and specify systems for the dust and the smoke. So Filtermist being experts in oil mist, but now this helps us to design systems for any type of airborne contaminant This means either small standalone systems, or we can go into a factory and put a centralised system in to cover every single machine, every type of process, to make sure that we keep the factory clean.
And you're also posting some interesting statistics. So even before you did that deal, you grew the UK operation by 26% since 2012. And there's a lot of people would want to know, how have you done that? Is it because of new legislation? Have you sort of ramped up a gear yourself?
It's a bit of everything. I mean, we've certainly been pushing in different directions. We have our own product, the Filtermist centrifugal system. We also sell our Swedish sister company's product, Absolent systems. They tend to be used for the larger systems, as I said before, or on heavier, smoky applications. So we've been able to go into different areas, and from that has grown the dust and the welding fume side. And certainly manufacturers in the UK are well aware that they need to keep their factories clean. So it's something that will always be growing. Health and safety take it relatively seriously now and are pushing even more so. And it's something that will continue.
And finally, I wanted to touch on the export market. So you mentioned, was it 92%?
Absolutely,
is exported. So it hasn't always been like that. So if it was 1969 that you were
Yeah, 1969 is when the business started.
So when did this sort of export market begin?
Almost straight away. The founding members of the company, they realised that there was the manufacturing was moving overseas. There was still a UK market, but a lot of it was moving overseas. So we followed the market, and over the years it has grown, and we've grown. We sell into over 60 countries worldwide, and it can be for many different purposes. We sell a lot into China, for example, and certainly in China, people say, "Oh, I didn't realise that they'd be too concerned about oil mist in China." Well, a lot of these companies are Western companies who've set up their plants in China. They need to have the same air quality in China as they would do at any other plant around the world, and so we go and help them to do that. And one of the things that's helping us to grow is that we have global support. So when we're dealing with multinational companies, then we can say to them, well, wherever your factory is, if you have a Filtermist unit there, we can support it.
It's a fantastic story. I don't think people realise how many small and medium-sized businesses actually do export, and you're exporting, well, more than half. So it's a fantastic achievement. It's fantastic for the region as well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and it's something we're really proud of. It's something we really pushed. We're looking to grow all over the place. With the multi-fan side, it's very much in the UK, but with our core product, we've got a lot of markets that we're really only scratching the surface of. We're now looking for big investment in that area. We've got great expansion plans alongside our sister company in Sweden, who are being pushed the same way. And yeah, we're looking to grow. Predominantly Germany's a big target market. We have another group company there who's our distributor. That's somewhere that we're a huge amount of manufacturing with SMEs as well in Germany, so we're pushing there. We've recently come back from a trip to Japan at the Jimtoff exhibition, where we were exhibiting. Again, huge potential market in Japan, somewhere we're going to concentrate on. USA, as I mentioned before, one of our biggest export markets. There's all of these places around the world where this is a growing trend. It's something that we need to keep going, and as it's a bit of a snowball effect, the more you export, the more you pick up on
what advice would you give to people watching this video about exporting? Maybe they're thinking about it, but they haven't yet taken the plunge, because there was a time when you probably didn't have 92% of your business from overseas. You've had a taste of it, and it's grown. What would you say to companies who are considering doing the same thing?
I think the simplest thing at the moment is to start off with, find markets that are quite common. So people think of the sort of Far East straight away. No, just stick closer to home. Europe, obviously, are very close trading partners with us. Dare I say, most of them speak English, and so it's easy to deal with them. USA, where they do speak English, is a lot easier to deal with. And it's there's common traits, and it's a lot easier to do the business. There's less of the paperwork.
So we'll perhaps do Japan at the end then.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we've certainly grown. I mean, now we think nothing of taking on in a new market. We even looked at Myanmar last year to go into there, and it doesn't faze us anymore. But certainly that's just come from experience. So start with the local ones. I mean, Europe and USA are huge markets in themselves. You don't necessarily need to start looking further afield. But there's a lot of help available from the DIT. We've worked closely with them over the years in their various formats, UKTI as it was. We go to a lot of exhibitions, either visiting to supporting our distributors or having our own stands, where you will find distributors. And it's very much the way that we've grown up, is via using distributors. So people will act as our sales team. It's a more cost-effective way to set up the business. You get a good distributor on board. They will act as your sales team at that company, and they will help you with all the paperwork and all the different certification if necessary.
Fantastic. Well, you've done a great job at Filtermist, and wish you all the best. Thank you very much for watching Made in the Midlands TV. If you would like to subscribe and comment, please follow the links below. Thank you very much.